Hello, hi, welcome once again to M5's English language learning program, Let's Speak English. I'm Gav Duncan and I'm here on your TV to help you learn English. Now, are you sitting comfortably? Yes? Good. And are you ready for today's lesson? Yes? Good. Okay, well, let's learn English together. And hello to you all. Did you all have a great weekend? Was it fun? Did you do all the things that you enjoy doing? Well, let's hope so. All right, so the weekend was a good one. That's great. And now, well, you all know what's coming, don't you? Yes. What week is this? Yes, that's right. This is the 38th week of the year, and this is week 105 of the English course. And the fact that the number of this week, 105, can be divided by 5 with no remainder, no messy bits of less than a whole number left over, tells us one important thing, that this week is a mini revision week. And so, what does that fact tell us? Yes, that's right, my fine, intrepid, fearless English warriors. No, I don't mean that you're all warriors whose nationality is English. I mean that you're warriors of English. You're the sort of fighting men and women who do battle with the English language. So, it's time. Are you all ready to step once more into the arena? Okay then, prepare to do battle with the English language. Well, come on then, let's make a start. Okay people, enough about advice for the young at heart. Enough about advice for how best to enjoy your salad days. The weekend's gone. It's disappeared into the atmosphere like, well, I don't know really. Well, it's disappeared into the atmosphere like something out of a magician's act. It's just vanished. And now, the only sign that's left of it is in our calendars. So it's gone. And we've got another, 5 days until the next one rolls around. At the moment, that weekend too, the one that's locked and loaded, the one that's waiting to arrive on our doorsteps when Friday turns into Saturday, that one's also just a theoretical idea. We can't touch it. It only exists in our calendars. Blimey, this is all a bit heavy, isn't it? I mean, I know that it's Monday and all that, but it's still a bit, well, philosophical, isn't it? Crikey! Okay, enough of the mind-bending questions about whether the weekend is here or whether it's there and whether it's a theoretical concept or something that we can actually grasp. It's time. Yes, the weekend's time, but now it's also time. Time for us to get our teeth once more stuck into the present perfect. Are you all ready? I hope so, because the wheels are moving. We're gathering speed and there's no hope of stopping the vehicle now. Better jump on. Okay, so 4 times when we normally use the present perfect. Number 1, event in past connected to present. Number 2, event or state began in past and continues to present. Number 3, life experience until time of speaking. And number 4, recent or very recent events and states. All right, so those are the times when we use the present perfect. Good. Now, what about the form of the present perfect? The present perfect simple. What is it that we need to make a positive sentence in the present perfect simple? Yes, that's right. The thing we need to make sentences in the present perfect is the past participle, the third form of the verb. As I'm sure you all remember, we form the present perfect simple using the verb to have as an auxiliary verb in combination with the third form, the past participle of another verb, the main verb in the sentence we're making. The structure of a positive sentence in the present perfect simple follows the same pattern as other sentences we've seen in English. Subject plus verb plus object, if there is one. I like giraffes. Now, that's the basic form of all sentences in English, but because this is the present perfect, we know that we don't have only one verb in the sentence, but 2. We also have an auxiliary verb, the verb to have. Subject plus auxiliary verb plus main verb plus object, if there is one. I've lost my wallet. Okay, so a slightly altered form for the present perfect simple because we have to use an auxiliary verb to make the tense. Okay, but this is nothing to get excited about, is it? We've seen this sort of thing before, and we can handle it, can't we? Yes, of course we can. You know that, and so do I. All right, so the verb to have is the auxiliary verb that we use to make the present perfect simple. Okay, and is that a problem? Well, no. At least it shouldn't be. We've seen and dealt with the verb to have plenty of times, haven't we? And we can conjugate it backwards. I ever, you ever, he, she, it, sa. We ever, you ever, they ever. Okay, well, we can conjugate it backwards. We do know this verb so well. We know its ins and outs. We know what it likes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We know its very character, from fruit and nuts to ice cream and after-dinner mints. But conjugating the verb to have backwards isn't really helpful, is it? No, not really. So let's just accept that we know the verb very well indeed. But let's conjugate it the correct way. Forwards, not backwards. Backwards doesn't make any sense, does it? See? Some of that was backwards, and it wasn't particularly easy to understand, was it? No. So let's keep things moving forwards, always moving like a shark, but never in reverse. Also, just like a shark. Sharks don't have a reverse gear, do they? I don't think so. I'm not sure. Ask a marine biologist. Okay, so moving on and moving forwards, let's hear the correct conjugation of the verb to have, shall we? I have, you have, he, she, it has, we have, you have, they have. Okay, so as we all know, the conjugation of the verb to have is very, very simple. The only place where we have to exercise caution, or the only place where, as Ralphie, Austrian boy wonder, and Yoda wannabe thinks we should beware, is when we're dealing with the third person singular. That's the only place where the conjugation changes. If we're talking about the first person singular or the second person singular or any of the plural forms, then we know that we use have. If, on the other hand, we're using the third person singular, then we have to remember to use not have, but has. Okay, so let's see some examples of positive present perfect sentences. Number 1, I clean the bathroom. Number 2, she walk the dog. Number 3, he do his homework. Number 4, they finish the job. Number 5, we be to Merida. All right. Well, you didn't think that I was going to spoon feed you now, did you? Oh, come on, you can do better than that. You don't need my help with sentences like these, do you? No, you're just being lazy. Now, come on, pull your socks up and complete the sentences. I'll give you 30 seconds. Okay, so time's up. So, have you all finished? I should hope so. All right, so what have we got? Number 1, I have cleaned the bathroom. Number 2, she has walked the dog. Number 3, he has done his homework. Number 4, they have finished the job. Number 5, we have been to Merida. Okay, well, those were simple enough, weren't they? First one, what's the subject? Yes, the first person singular, which means what? Well, that means that we need have for the auxiliary verb. Okay, and what about the main verb? Well, that's the verb to clean. And we know that the verb to clean is a regular verb, so to make the past simple form of the verb, we add ed to the infinitive. Clean becomes cleaned. Okay, so that's the past simple form, but we're dealing with the present perfect here, so we don't need the past simple form, but the past participle. Aha, but what do we all remember about the past participles of regular verbs? Yes, that's right. With regular verbs, the past simple form and the past participle are the same. So, we know the past simple form, and we know that the verb is regular, and that means, yes, that means that we also know the past participle of the verb to clean. Clean cleaned, cleaned. Excellent. Let's see it. I have cleaned the bathroom. Great. And on we go. What about the next one? Well, the subject is the third person singular, which means that we have to be a little bit careful. It's has, not have, that we need here as the auxiliary. So, she has or she's. Good. And what about the verb? The main verb? The verb to walk? Well, is it a regular or an irregular verb? Yes, that's right. The verb to walk is regular. To make the past simple form, we just add ed to the end of the infinitive. And because it's a regular verb, we also know the past participle, don't we? Yes! Walk, walked, walked. Good. Giddy up. Let's see it. She has walked the dog. Alrighty, sweet and tighty. Next, aha, third person singular once more. So that means that we're using has, not have as the auxiliary. Good. But what about the main verb in this sentence? Well, the verb to do. Now this one's irregular, isn't it? Yes, do changes to did in the past simple form, and does anyone remember the past participle form? Yes, done. Do, did, done. Let's see it. He has done his homework. Great, well done him. He's done his homework like a good boy. Next. Okay, so this one features a plural subject, they, which means that once again we need have, not has for the auxiliary. Good. Now what about the main verb, the verb to finish? Well, that's an easy one again, isn't it? Yes, it's regular. So, what do we add? What do we do to the end of the infinitive to make the past simple form? Yes, by Jove, that's correct. To make the past simple form, we add ed to the end of the infinitive. Finish becomes finished. Great. And what about the past participle? Well, it's a regular verb, isn't it? Yes, so it's the same form. The past simple form and the past participle are the same. Finish, finished, finished. Let's see it. They have finished the job. Great. And now, what about the last one? Well, what subject were you using in the sentence? We. Another plural subject form, which means, yes, that's right, it's have, not has for the auxiliary verb. Okay. So we've figured out which form of the verb to have we have to use. Not has, but because the subject we're using is plural, then we have to use have. Okay, and what about the main verb? Well, what is the main verb in the sentence? The verb to be. Okay, and is this verb regular or irregular? It's irregular, isn't it? It's a bit of an odd one, this. It's got more than a couple of forms. I am, you are, he, she, it is, we are, you are, and they are. And that's just the present simple form. What about the past simple form? Well, again, that's got more than one form. I was, you were, he, she, it was, we were, you were, and they were. Okay, so that's the present simple and the past simple form. What about the past participle? Yes, that's right, been. So, am, are, is becomes was, were, and then been. Let's see it. We have been to Merida. And if you're wondering, Merida is a nice little town in Mexico on the Yucatan Peninsula. A really nice town. Well, I liked it. And we're done! Yes, that's all the time we've got for you today. And it's time for us to part once more. Yes, that's part, not party. If we're going to party, then it's probably going to be on a Friday, isn't it? Yes, that's the normal time for a party. Okay, so it's time for us to part! I'll go this way and you lot can go that way. And then, after I've had my coffee and after you lot have done your chores and walked the dog and all that sort of thing, we can all get our heads down for some rest. And then, well, then we'll awaken tomorrow bright and refreshed. Well, hopefully we'll be bright and refreshed. And then, well, then I'll see you tomorrow afternoon. Same time, same place, but not today, tomorrow. See you tomorrow. See you later. www.mediaclick.hu. Bye!